Hey everybody, it's Yishan here. Today I've got for you guys a in real life Golden Castle Gren Maju deck profile. I just had that itch to buy some cards. Plus I wanted to get some of the new Phantom Rage cards for my Gren Maju decks. So here we are. Hope you guys enjoy. If you guys want to see some other types of content, like for example maybe a budget Gren Maju deck profile, please let me know in the comments below. Also, double sleeving is allowed now, so if you guys have any double sleeving tips for me, what do you guys use? Right now I'm using Dragon Shield sleeves, so I figured I could probably just use the Dragon Shield standard size to shield the outside, but I'm not sure, so let me know what you guys are doing for double sleeving. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. It's much appreciated. So yeah, also, one last thing. I've got this mat for you guys to see up here. And yeah, this thing's on sale. It's pretty cheap right now. We've got it on sale for $23. The link will be in the description below. After the year, it's going to be $30, so make sure to get yours before that happens. All right, let's get right into the deck profile. Golden Castle Gren Maju, here we go. So, first thing we've got is 3 Gren Maju to Isa. Look at these beautiful super rare. But yeah, you know, just again, really cool. Heart and soul of the deck, just really awesome. I think he looks really cool on the mat, actually. But yeah, so 3 Gren Maju, you guys all know what it does. It gains 400 attack for each of your banished cards, and this deck banishes like crazy. So, integral part of the deck, but let's move on from it. Next, we've got 3 Gizmek Orochi, the Serpentron Sky Slasher. Again, probably the best Gren Maju support ever printed, behind Pot of Desires, of course, because Pot of Desires is probably the best, but let's just say second best. I might actually do a video about the tier list for Gren Maju support cards, but this is one of them for sure. Really good. Just helps you with your rank A plays, helps you banish. One of the biggest strengths of the Golden Castle version is that it's very consistent about putting out rank 8s due to Golden Castle being a free special for a level 8. So a lot of the choices in this deck are based around that fact. So Gizmek, very helpful. Next we have one of our other all-time favorite support cards. It's 3 Eater of Millions. Eater of Millions, it's just a fantastic card. I really like it because it helps you sometimes just, first of all, mass banishing, so it works really well with Gren Maju. Helps you get rid of problems, as well as sometimes it can help you into link plays, and it also has a cool play with what you saw was Relinquished Anima. A lot of cool plays you can do with this. Someone suggested this to me, so I'm playing it now. But yeah, a lot of cool plays you can do with that. So now, for one of the newest cards, we've got 3 Alpha, the Master of Beasts. Look at how pretty that card is. So yeah, Alpha, just one of the most important new additions to the deck. Gives you that level 8, that extra power that you need. It works best in a Kaiju focused deck. However, it still works well even in just a normal Golden Castle Gren Maju deck. Again, I know a lot of people have budget restrictions, which is why I asked at the beginning of the video, maybe you want to play this deck on a budget, which it can be really easily played on a budget. So do let me know if you guys want to see a budget deck profile. But if you do have the funds, then definitely play Alpha. He's just so good. And you can sessional summon him more than once per turn, which is just crazy. But yeah, really happy that I got to pick up some of these for my deck. Next, we have some Dangers. We've got 3 Danger Bigfoot, and as well as 3 Danger Thunderbird. Just really good level 8s. There's a lot of sneaky synergy with the Dangers in this deck. For example, if you reveal a Danger and discard a Gizmek, it's like Pot of Greed basically because you're going plus there. But they just help you beat over stuff, make rank 8s, OTK your opponent, and even sometimes pop cards. So that is most of the level 8s. We've got a few more, of course, coming up, but let's go over some staples here. We got 1 Pangertops. This is a going second deck, so I'd run it. Also, if you're playing a lot on Dueling Book, this card just crushes a lot of rogue decks, so definitely worth playing. We've also got 3 Dimension Shifter. Now, I view this card as basically a necessity in today's format with Infernoble. Hopefully the ban list fixes this, because to be honest, I hate playing Dimension Shifter. This card is not fun for really either player. Either I open it and your deck sucks against Dimension Shifter, in which case you basically can't do anything, or I don't open it, or I open it and against a deck where it does nothing against, where I draw it later in the game where it's literally a dead card, and so like it just doesn't feel good for anyone. But you know, Infernoble is just like, if you see Infernoble and you don't have this card in your main deck, you don't really have a chance to win, so you sort of have to play it. Along those lines, I also like triple Nibiru. You know, it still works well with Zuking or Alpha Master of Beasts because of the fact that you can bounce the token. Also, you can equip the token with Relinquished Anima, so that's a cool thing. Again, Nibiru can be dead against a lot of matchups, but against the meta, it's usually live, and it helps keep you in the game. So I think it's a little bit better than Lava Golem. That's why I have Lava Golem on the side. But you sort of need these 3 hand traps or these 6 hand traps to play in this format. Hopefully that changes because I'd like to fit in some level 8s and some trade-in targets or some trade-ins. But right now there's just no space for that. This is a 40 card deck. Okay, so for our Golden Castle engine, we've got 2 Glyph, the Phantom Bird, 2 Hextrude, and then last but not least, the 3 Golden Castle of Stromberg. So I've done a lot of math on this, and I've come to the conclusion that 5 castles is the way to go. It just maximizes your chance of drawing exactly 1 and minimizes your chance of drawing more than 1. So 5 is the best, I'm pretty sure. Hextrude, you know, Castle is actually really important in this deck because you know, there's the Danger Gren Maju deck and the Kaiju Gren Maju deck, but a lot of our side deck choices are based around the fact that we have the Golden Castle in our deck, and I'll cover that in a little bit. But yeah, this is, you know, the Castle engine to help you get some more level 8s, of course. For the spells, we've got a few of them. Of course, we had the 3 Golden Castle. Then we have the 3 Pot of Desires. Not much to say except that this card is just probably the best Gren Maju support ever printed. And you're not really a combo deck, so you don't have to worry about, you know, banishing your 1-ofs. We've also got 3 Super Poly. Now, I've seen a lot of people cut Super Poly recently, and I understand why. A lot of decks just beat the crap out of Super Poly, it seems like. I mean, this card is still pretty good at playing defense. I'm hoping that, again, the ban list will solve some of this. I just like it right now because of the fact that, you know, if you play against Rogue, this card is really good. But yeah, you know, the ban list really needs to just to help us because, like, you know, we have Very Fun Dragon VFD running around. You know, it's like there's just so many bad matchups. But if you're playing against one of those Rogue decks, which I do play against a lot, to be honest, not everyone wants to play meta. Super Poly is very good still, and to be honest, I think that Super Poly is like integral part of the rank 8 Gren Maju strategy, so I figure I have to play it unless it's like totally like terrible in the format. But other than that, I'm going to be playing Super Poly, but I understand if you want to cut it. It does take up quite a bit of extra deck spots, and it seems that extra deck space keeps getting tighter and tighter. For our one-offs, we have 1 beautiful Harpy's Feather Duster. Just really good in Gren Maju. If you're playing Going Second Gren Maju deck, I just recommend you main deck this card. Even if you trade 1 for 1, it's still fine, but there are moments where you trade 2 for 1, and it just, I mean, it feels so good. So this card is just a great card. And then the last card in the deck, 40 card deck, 1 Monster Reborn. This is the card I'm most iffy about because of Dimension Shifter. You're going to open Dimension Shifter like 33 to 37, 34, 35% of the time, depending, you know, if you're going first or second, if you're counting 5 or 6 card hands. And Monster Reborn just sort of sucks if you open it with D-Shifter. So that's why, like, I'm a little bit iffy. You could play like Called by the Grave, but the problem if you play Called by the Grave is it sort of runs in the same prom. It's not very good with D-Shifter because, like, if they ash you, the ash is going to get banished, and then you can't even Call by the Grave, so it's sort of useless. You could actually run a single trade-in if you wanted to, instead of the Monster Reborn. I might even recommend that because trade-in still works, even under D-Shifter. So, yeah, but I still think it's pretty good. It just, at the worst, it can revive a D-Shifter, which is why I still play it. But, you know, I definitely think this is on the, you know, chopping block, unless, of course, D-Shifter can be moved to the side. But right now, it obviously can't because you're just going to get destroyed by some of the meta decks. So that's the last card in the main deck, Monster Reborn. 40 card deck. Let's go back to the extra deck real quick. I got quite a few things to explain here. First, of course, we have what you saw, the 1 Relinquished Anima. This card is actually definitely should be played in the Kaiju version of Gren Maju, but it's even good here, I've found. First of all, it has some cool tricks with, like, there can be only 1 in the side deck. It lets you get Eater and Gren on this field at the same time. Also, like, if you Lava Golem someone or Nibiru someone, you can put the token or the Lava Golem in the correct zone and just steal it. That helps OTK a ton because it actually keeps the attack. And sometimes your opponent just misplays or doesn't play around zones quickly or has no choice but to play around zones. You can use a Relinquished Anima. So I find that he does come up once in a while. So yeah, nice to have in your extra deck. I think it is worth the spot. We have one Cerberus and one Phoenix. Yeah, I mean, these things come up. Sometimes you need this against an inferior token. You need this against back row, so just like staples. For our rank 8s, we have a Draglubian, a Hope Harbinger, or a Numeron Dragon, a Hope Harbinger. We basically run 2 rank 8 packages. We have the Draglubian engine. So of course this can summon out Numeron Dragon and do 9,000 damage, or it can summon out Hope Harbinger and get Spell Negate plus an Xyz monster. So really, really strong. I go into Draglubian a ton. And then of course our other engine is actually the new card from Phantom Rage. We have a Divine Arsenal AA Zeus Sky Thunder, and along with that we actually play a Dinkirsu and a Pain Gainer. And the reason we play the Pain Gainer is this one can actually stack on top of the Dinkirsu. So if you stack the Zeus on top of that, you'll actually have a 4 material Zeus, which actually has come up quite a few times. I've actually never used Zeus twice in one turn in my testing, but the only reason for that is because people conceded when they realized they couldn't out the second field wipe. So it actually came up quite a bit, but yeah, I definitely run that. And then our Super Volley targets, I run 1 Prankid's Weather Washer and 1 Brotherhood of the Firefist Swan. This is for Prankid's and this is for Zodiac or any random beast warrior deck you face, but usually Zodiac. I'm just playing these right now. I'm not playing the Salamangreat Violet Chimera right now, just because they're not really in the meta. As you see, I don't have Sanafont in the extra deck as well. Of course, if Salamangreat ever comes back into the meta, you definitely want to go for a Sanafon with the Violet Chimera in your extra deck. But I just haven't seen Salamangreat in so long that I just like, you know what, I'm just going to cut it on my extra to play some of these extra targets. We got 1 Dragostapelia, 1 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, 1 Mud Dragon, and 1 Invoked Elysium. All very good targets. Invoked is pretty popular right now, so I run that. This is also very good against Invoked and a bunch of random stuff. Of course, the best Super Volley target. And, you know, a lot of like the Invoked or the Dogmatica cards, they run into this as a Super Volley target. So, yeah, that's the extra deck. 15, of course. I gotta get that Eater fodder, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Side deck. As you saw, we start with 3 Lava Golem. I really like Lava Golem in the Golden Castle version of the deck, and this is one of the reasons why I was talking about earlier is Golden Castle sort of changes up this how you want a side deck, which is the one bad thing about Lava Golem is you can't normal summon. However, you can still activate Castle. The restrictions, they're fine. And then we have 3 Twin Twister. Just one of the best cards with Gren Maju. Works really, really well. You know, discard a Gizmek, discard a Danger, get a lot of pops. Just good against your generic back row decks, of course. And then we have 3, there can be only 1, and 3 summon limit. So this is something I recommend with Castle builds, especially these floodgates. And the reason for that is because you can make a rank 8, like a Hope Harbinger or Dingirsu, and protect these floodgates very easily. And once you get these floodgates out, like summon limit is just like a total house of a card. You're gonna win that game. Same with TC Boo against a bunch of decks. So another reason why Castle lets you play these style of floodgates, and I suggest you do play them because you just get so many free wins from them. Especially if people make you go first, you know, so that you get a lot of wins like that. So you got to be ready for that, having to go first. Okay, let's go for the final 3 cards in the side deck. 3 Banquet of Millions, another new card from Phantom Rage. Now, what I like about this card is unfortunately it's not a floodgate. However, it does hit a lot of random stuff in the meta. Like, for example, against Invoked Dogmatica, like this card is actually good. It has just a lot of random times where it's actually pretty good. I definitely recommend you take out Eater of Millions if you're signing this card in. I've sometimes kept an Eater of Millions, and every time I've regretted it. You just banish too much stuff from your extra deck. You can't afford to play both. But yeah, I really do like Banquet of Millions. It has come up. If you draw this in Gren Maju, you're like really, really in a good spot because your Gren Maju is going to be super powerful. So yeah, guys, that is it for the Golden Castle Gren Maju deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. Of course, if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And until next time, guys, I will see you guys in the next video.